Many thanks again for rejoining us on Road to Edo 2024 on Independent Television this beautiful Monday evening. And also it's good to have you here once again.
Yes.
So on the last lap of the show, what we're looking at?
Okay, there's something very important, and some scholars and politicians, academics, they are not comfortable with it. And that has to do with litigations that characterize our electoral system. Most elections, voters are expected to vote and elect their preferred candidates. But at the end of the day, it appears that it is not the votes or the voters' participation in election that determines who occupies any of such positions. Most times, such elections are referred to the courts, who eventually gives the verdict. And there's a school of thought that is saying sometimes there's a problem with even certificates of candidates. Political parties are supposed to do their homework in terms of thorough screening before aspirants becomes candidates. Then on the side of INEC, it is also expected that INEC should do their background check as well. It is believed that with all of these, then credible elections surely will be guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, it's a major issue because it's the popular votes from the electorates that ought to put those elected into office.
Exactly.
But once the electorates are through, the next phase is the post-election matters. Sometimes you have even pre-election matters dominating a particular person's government. And at the end of the day, that becomes a huge distraction.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what is playing out in the country right now with the certificate forgery allegations surrounding the president. I mean, that matter has been ongoing within the Nigerian court. It's still in the process, it's still in the courts, but it's landed in the US and has dominated international conversation in the last couple of days. That's certainly a very, very big problem that we have,
yes, that
we need to deal with, because now it's as though, in a sense and in a way, we are alienating the electorates. The electorates are supposed to be the ultimate king in determining who becomes what. But what do we have? What do we have is a very crazy situation. The issue of the political parties and even INEC may not really have a big blame here. It's the political parties. When you say this is the person you want to represent you, you do a thorough background check on that person to be sure that the person has all that is required or that is needed to represent you without any distraction. But what you find is that somebody just comes from nowhere and then you pick the person, maybe he has money, he has influence, stuff like that, and then at the end of the day, you start having challenges here and there. But let's quickly take a look at this report. We'll be back with you on the program to call it a wrap.
Candidates who lost election oftentimes will look for loopholes and areas of weakness of those declared winners to seek redress in court. Some Benin City residents blame the situation on inability of political parties to do proper background check.
It's not that they don't know certificates that are good and not that are bad. They know. Even right now, they are fighting certificates in courts.
Proper screening is not done. Why? Because the positions or tickets are given to the highest bidder. So that's why they just gloss over whatever is submitted, and nobody cares to do proper screening.
Before somebody come up to be a political leader, that party should know the background of that person.
A candidate that represents a particular political party is a party affairs. But the challenge is that we get it wrong from the beginning. And that is why if you go to court, the court will tell you is family affairs, is party affairs. So the ball game returns back to the political parties.
The respondents said INEC ought to do a thorough job by scrutinizing the candidates presented to them by the political parties before allowing them to contest in any election.
The thing is presented to INEC. So this body ought to also do its own homework. But INEC is like, whatever you give to me, garbage in, garbage out.
Talking about qualification, academic qualification, these things are things that those concerned like INEC supposed to do, screen the people thoroughly.
In Nigeria, petitions and countless court cases have demoralized the voters and politicians, a scenario many say is inimical to meaningful development, as those sworn in are often distracted by the process. Pius Nsogo, ITV News.
Whatever has a beginning must have an end. Just on the verge of capping it up on the program today. Final thoughts.
Well, I must say it's been a wonderful program. Like I said, this is the program that will surely keep our voters enlightened ahead of EDO 2024. The voters are no longer gullible. Politicians should be aware of that they cannot take advantage of voters again. The enlightenment is very, very high.
Okay, voters are no longer gullible, so they are wiser now, smarter now, and more decisive with their votes. I want to say big thanks to everyone that made the program a huge success. Our executive producer, our digital MD engineer, Elvis Obaseki, thank you very much. And our associate producer, Thomas Sado, thank you very much. Director of presentation, Bernardo Sawaru, thank you all the same. Behind the camera, Albert Abayengbe, thank you very, very much. Next week is going to be hot and smoky. And you want to ask why? Because we'll be having a governorship aspirant here in the studio in the person of Honorable John Eirachioma Yakubu. What a way to kickstart Road to Edo 2024 on ITV. Look forward to that interview. It's going to be hot and smoky on Monday next week at exactly 5:30 p.m. On behalf of all of us here, this is wishing you a great week ahead, and bye for now.